I came to this area 40 years ago to work at Cahokia Mound. And as it turned out, that became the focus of my research. And as I've gone through my career, the issue of preserving these places has become more and more important. The significance of the mounds in the St. Louis region is it represents one of the heaviest concentrations of mounds in the eastern woodlands. The number of mounds that were on the Missouri side of the river was probably at least in the neighborhood of 100 or more. We know there's no question that the American Indian were the builders of these mounds. In fact, you could think of the group of 25 or so mounds that were just north of Laclede's Landing as an early city or town in this area that existed probably about 800 or 900 years ago. The destruction of the mounds in St. Louis really began in probably the 1820s, 1830s. People began to build on them. Some of them very large. They had flat tops that could easily support a house. Sugarloaf is significant in one instance because it's one of the few remaining mounds actually in the city of St. Louis.
We're in South St. Louis at the boundary between the old city of Carondelet and the city of St. Louis. Well, I've lived here since 1945. My grandparents owned the house that's built on the platform part of the mound, which is a little bit lower than this. Well, this is just a book that my mother had of pictures that were taken, of course, before the highway was here. This looks so different, it's hard to picture. Well, these pictures were taken in '45. Of course, that's before the highway was here, the '55. That came in 1959, I believe, the highway came through. And we called it Sugarloaf Cave. It was right in the side of the mound. I was never all the way in it. I would go in maybe 5 feet and then I was scared. I was a little kid.
Given its location on the bluff top, adjacent to the Mississippi River, overlying caves that come up underneath it. That's the underworld. That's very important to American Indians. As people came down or up the river, they would have seen this standing out above that, and this may have actually marked a sacred spot. The purchase of this property by the Osage goes back to the fall of 2008 when the owners, an elderly couple, put it up on the market for sales. We were concerned about one is how we were going to be able to protect it with it on the market as it was. The Osage indicated that they wanted to try and purchase the properties.
Oh, I think the Osage Nation definitely should have it. I really do. They should have it, sure. There's so much history here.
It's not that important that we do excavation. We can learn from excavation, but we also have to be respectful of what American Indians have left behind. These places are still very much alive today. The mound we're standing on is very much alive in their tradition.